Hi everyone, Chip Boaz here, and today I want to talk about something that I love, my bass amp. I've been using the combination of the Aguilar Tone Hammer 500 head and the Aguilar SL-112 cabinet for years. I love the rich and natural tone, and honestly, no matter what music I'm playing, jazz, rock, funk, I feel like it brings out the best in my 6-string bass and my upright bass. I love the warm tube-like sound, the tonal flexibility, and the raw power of this combination. So you can imagine I was really intrigued when I heard that Nembrini Audio had released the Bass Hammer plugin that was meant to emulate the Aguilar sound. If I could plug my bass directly into my computer when I'm recording and still get that beautiful sound, that would be a win-win. But I can't compromise on the beautiful tone. But I couldn't resist exploring the possibilities, so I've been playing with the Bass Hammer plugin, comparing it with my Aguilar Tone, and I'm going to do an honest comparison. So let's get it started. One of the things I love about my Tone Hammer is the simplicity of the interface. You've got a master volume knob, you've got a button for a 10 decibel cut, you've got two knobs, one for gain and one for drive. The gain could be great if you're on a louder gig and want to kick it into high gear. That drive can be fantastic for warming up the tone or even giving things a little bit of edge. Then here in the middle, you've got 4 EQ knobs that are really a basic 3-channel EQ. You've got your treble and your bass, and then you've got what I really feel is the sweet spot of that Aguilar sound. You've got 2 knobs to adjust the mids. You can adjust the mid frequency, and then you can adjust the amount of mids that you have in the tone. And wow, you can really just get some beautiful tones by adjusting the mids. It's really beautiful. I run my Tone Hammer 500 through my Aguilar SL-112 cabinet. It's a cabinet with a 12-inch speaker, and I've seen a lot of players do the same combination. It's a really popular pairing, and I have to say it's more than just brand loyalty. There's some secret sauce in the speaker cabinet right here that really brings out the best tone in that Tone Hammer. And I'm speaking from experience here. When I first bought my Tone Hammer 500, that broke the bank, so I had to save a little money before I could get an SL-112. So I ran that Tone Hammer 500 through a GK 410 cabinet for a long time, and I have to say that the sound was drastically different, and I wasn't thrilled. It wasn't until I got that SL-112 where I just fell in love with the tone, and I've never gone back. When you look at the Nembrini Bass Hammer interface, you're going to see a lot of similar features. It looks a lot like the Tone Hammer, and it's got all the same knobs as the Tone Hammer. It also has a blend knob, which allows you to blend between the sound of the direct line and the sound of the plugin. You've got a compressor built into the amp, so there's a knob to control how much compression you're getting. You also have a 6-band EQ, which can be turned on or off with the AGS button. Of course, an amp isn't the head alone, so there's also a screen which allows you to choose which cabinet you're playing through. You've got a choice of 3 different Ampeg cabinets or a Hartkey cabinet, each with a different speaker configuration. You can choose what kind of mic you're recording with and the distance between the mic and the amp. You've also got a signal as if you were running the amp direct. Then there's a mixer that lets you mix all of them together and a fader called ambient, which allows you to place the sound in a space, a garage, a studio, or a stage. There's even a noise gate which allows you to clean up the sound. Lots of possibilities here. So let's compare the sound of the Tone Hammer 500 head and the Bass Hammer plugin. I'm going to start things out with the bass guitar. Let's try it on the upright bass. I really like the Bass Hammer plugin. I think it sounds great, thickening and shaping recorded bass tones in a great way. And honestly, it comes pretty darn close to that classic Aguilar sound. There's obviously been a lot of time both studying the mechanics that make the Tone Hammer work and listening to the sound that it produces. The interface is easy to use, and the skeuomorphic nature of it really makes it seem instantly familiar. The details around cabinet design and mic placement are effective and skillfully programmed. This is not a cheap run trying to cash in on the Aguilar name. Instead, it's a loving tribute to the Tone Hammer and an honest attempt to capture that sound in an electronic form. I do have a couple of small but notable complaints that I should point out. There's a collection of emulated Ampeg and Hartkey cabinets to choose from, but why was there no attempt to emulate the Aguilar cabinets? As I mentioned earlier, the Aguilar cabinets are distinct and they sound amazing. They're also common pairings with the Tone Hammer heads. They are really a part of that Aguilar sound. It seems like a big oversight to have not included Aguilar-inspired cabinets as part of the app. I'm also not sure why the EQ and compression was added to the main interface. Part of the beauty of the Tone Hammer is the simplicity of the interface. You can just cue up a great tone and play. The EQ and compression just add too many options. You can turn them off, so it's not a deal breaker, but I have to admit, it does throw me a bit. Are these two complaints enough to steer me away from the app? Not at all. I can deal with the more complex interface, but I have to say, I do hope that Nembrini Audio considers an update to add an Aguilar cabinet. I think that would make a big difference. Is the Bass Hammer going to replace my Aguilar Tone Hammer 500? Absolutely not. There's something magical about the way a live bass amp moves air in the room, especially when you're playing or recording with other people. Even though the bass hammer sounds pretty darn close to the tone hammer, the experience and the inspiration of hearing the plug-in through the headphones or a monitor speaker is just not the same. I'm going to be recording an album with my trio next month, and in that context, I'm definitely going to be recording the combo of my Aguilar Tone Hammer and Aguilar SL-112. Will I use the bass hammer? Absolutely! It sounds great, and in my home studio, it's really pretty convenient. I've been using it for about a month now, testing in preparation for this review. I've used it for my sound on social media clips and some demo work. It performs really well and makes my bass sound great. It allows me to plug right into the computer and automatically get a great sound. For those quick and dirty sessions, it's bass hammer all the way. I'm happy to say that this is now a reliable part of my setup these days. So what do you think? Do you use Aguilar amps? Have you tried the bass hammer? What do you think about the comparison between the two? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious about your thoughts on how these two align or not. And of course, if you're enjoying the videos, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so we can keep this conversation going. I will be seeing you soon.